A rather solid but a rather underwhelming day for India if you have to look at it on day 4 of the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. The day started off with some history, some rather disappointing performances, some unexpected results, but it ended in an ultimate high for India. Towards the end, we managed to win 3 medals, two in judo, one in weightlifting. But there were other results at the start which gave India plenty of ecstasy. But at the other hand, there were some results which caused plenty of agony. So let me start off with the results that was very surprising at the start of the Commonwealth Games day 4. Ajay Singh in weightlifting was touted to be one of the medal contenders because primarily he had won 2 Commonwealth Championships in 2019 and 2021. Here he did try and he did put in some solid performances, but unfortunately he did not make it. So Ajay Singh finished 4th in weightlifting and he missed out on the medal by a whisker. It was a story of India in the weightlifting category from day 1 onwards, because if you look at Sanket in weightlifting, when it first started, when Mirabai Chanu won the gold, Sanket also could have won the gold, but had he not suffered that injury, he just missed the gold by 1 kilo. So that is why it was a case of frustration when we have to look at it. Apart from weightlifting, there was one moment which gave India plenty of reasons to smile. The lawn bowls women's 4 event. It was a sport which was not even heard of in India. It all started in 2010, but it had not gained in popularity. However, 4 women have put lawn bowls on the map as they beat heavyweight New Zealand to enter the final for the first time in their history. It was truly a sensational effort, and India will be taking on South Africa for the gold medal tomorrow. That is truly one of the most phenomenal efforts. And if India does manage to win gold, it is a story that will revolutionize lawn bowls. Remember, it's a very technical game and it is one of the core games in the Commonwealth Games for quite a long time. India having reached the final, and if they win, it will be a mega story in itself. So, lawn bowls was the story of the day. Forget all the other events that happened. Women's Force Lawn Bowl event. This day will be remembered for a very, very long time. Apart from the women's lawn bowls 4, there were some very, very disappointing events that happened towards the fag end of the day, especially in squash. Joshna Chinnappa, who would have thought, one of the veterans in the Indian squash circuit, she crashed out in the quarterfinals to the 20th ranked Canadian squash player. But Saurav Ghoshal kept India's hopes alive when he reached the semi-final with a clinical performance, one might say. Apart from that, Kuruvilla, one of the young squash players, is also in the plate semi-final. So, India's hopes in squash are still reliant on Saurav Ghoshal, but Josna Chinnappa's loss was indeed a very sad thing. But if you have to look for thrills on day 4 of the Commonwealth Games, look no further than the hockey match men's between India and England. It was a scintillating performance from India for 3 quarters. Lalit, Harmanpreet, and Mandeep, all 3 ensured that India were on top and they were 4-1 up. But a chaotic 4th quarter saw their defense being shredded to bits. And from 4-1 leading, England managed to draw 4-4. It was a sensational performance from England. But yes, the disappointment of the 4th quarter will give India plenty of concern for a simple reason that they may face tougher opponents in the knockout stages. Remember, the India men's team are favourites to make the knockout stages. But again, they will have 2 potentially tricky opponents. One is New Zealand. But in order to win the gold medal, they will have to overcome the behemoths that are Australia. Australia has been dominant in the Commonwealth hockey section, and this edition will prove to be no different. India will have to really up their A game if they have to win the Commonwealth Games gold this time around. Towards the end, it became slightly more chaotic as events kept on coming. But yes, Saurav Kumar Dubey, why lack of discipline? We played with 9 men for most of the fourth quarter. Yes, 2 yellow cards, 9 men, 2 men down, really made a massive difference. Defense was absolutely shredded, and that's why 4-1 instead of an India win, it was 4-4. Kudos to England for the fight back, though. Now, if I have to look towards the night part of it, the mixed team event in badminton once again showed why they are the favorites to win the gold. Remember, India's badminton contingent is one of the strongest in the Commonwealth Games. They had started the tournament on a high by beating Pakistan. They also beat Australia. They also beat Sri Lanka. And today, when they defeated Singapore, they reached the final to assure the mixed team event have now assured themselves of a medal. They will meet Malaysia in the final. On the other hand, the men's TT team are currently facing Nigeria at this point in time and are up 2-0, with Satyan Yanasekaran also giving India almost putting India on the cusp of ensuring that they also win a medal. Remember, badminton and TT are these two disciplines where they have done well in the past. 2018, the TT team won the most medals in the Gold Coast Commonwealth Games. In this Commonwealth Games, unfortunately, the women's team crashed out to Malaysia. Manika Batra, unfortunately, she lost out in the women's section, and that's why it was a big, big blow for the defending champions. On the other hand, in swimming, Srihari Natraj in the 50-meter men's backstroke really gave himself a fitting display. Fifth position, although it was not enough to win the medal, fifth position in a very strong field was a tremendous performance indeed. Now, unfortunately, the others could not make it. The other swimmers in the Indian contingent did not make it past to the heats, and that is why it's a very sad end to their chances. But yeah, Sajan Prakash will go for it tomorrow in the 200-meter freestyle. Let's hope that he does well in that. So Sajan Prakash remains in the fray, but unfortunately he may face a lot of competition in the semi-final in the heats. So that is one thing. And towards the end, boxing also ensured that our medal prospects are high. And in the 71 kilo weightlifting category, it was Harjinder Kaur who showed that why she was not touted to win the medal, because she had only gained prominence by winning the 2020 Khelo India Games. In the 2021 Commonwealth Championships in Tashkent, she managed to win silver. But Harjinder had showed that she is made of sterner stuff. She could have won the silver in this event as well, but unfortunately, the Canadian weightlifter lifted 123 in the final attempt, and that is why she was pipped to the post and she won the bronze. She was lucky enough to win the bronze because the Nigerian weightlifter who had lifted over 120 in the snatch could not do it in the clean and snatch. So unfortunately, she missed silver by a matter of inches, but again, it was a fabulous display. Hope Pangal wins the gold. Yes, boxing indeed. Amit Pangal, Mohammad Husamuddin all put in a fabulous performance along with Ashish Kumar. Judo was the discipline that gave India plenty to smile. Sushila Devi secured the silver, but yet again, it was a repeat of 2014 Glasgow, unfortunately, where she once again secured the silver. Here, she was confident, but she was battling an injury to her leg. She had come to the final with stitches on her leg, and that is what probably hampered her. She did say that yes, the injury did play a part, but she did not think too much about it. And towards the end, when you have to look at it, Vijay Kumar Yadav secured the bronze in the repechage in the 60 kilo category. So that was a good way for judo to show that yes, even that can be a discipline which can give India medals. But on the other hand, the other two contenders, especially for bronze, they did not succeed, and that's why they crashed out. So overall, 3 medals today, 7th medal in weightlifting. And overall now, it seems to be a very good tally for India. But yes, Over the coming days, badminton, TT included, weightlifting, one more day to go, lawn bowls, cricket, wrestling, all these events will combine to ensure that India at least reaches the 50 medal tally in the Commonwealth Games. Because remember, shooting is not there in Commonwealth Games 2021. That's why, yes, how many medals are you expecting? I'm expecting somewhere in the range of 45 to 50 medals to after the end of the Commonwealth Games for India. That seems to be the most realistic expectation at this point in time because weightlifting may give you some more medals tomorrow. Perhaps wrestling will be the ultimate, and as well as badminton and table tennis. These are the disciplines which will give you plenty of medals. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us. Tomorrow promises to be a pretty historic day when it comes to the lawn bowls final. We will that begins at 4:15 p.m. IST. So join us for that. Thank you so much for joining us for the coverage of the Commonwealth Games today. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. We are also there on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget to download the Sports Tag app. Thank you.